Hi everybody, I'm Bob Kovacs, and this toilet that you see next to me is 21 years old. That means that all of the internals inside the toilet are starting to age out, starting to fail. We already have one failure, and so what's going to happen now is if I replace just that one item, then the chances are good that something else will fail and then something else will fail. So I got this kit at Home Depot. This has all of the internal components inside the tank, so I'll be replacing all of the internals inside the tank. However, I'm going to do it in a series of 3 videos. There's the inlet valve, there's the stopper valve that brings the water into the bowl of the toilet, and there is the seat that the stopper valve goes on. So I'll be replacing all of those in their own video. If you want to see the whole process of replacing everything, it'll be done over 3 videos. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we have to do is scoop any remaining water out of the bottom of the toilet. Something else you can do is sop up the remaining water in a washcloth or a rag and squeeze that out into a pan. This is the old fill valve. We'll be replacing it. This is the new fill valve. So to get the old fill valve out, when you remove it, you're going to get some water dripping out of the tank. So you need a tray to catch water. It goes on the floor under the fill valve. Turn off the water supply at the wall behind the toilet. Unscrew the feed pipe at the base of the fill valve. You might need a pair of pliers, but mine is just finger tight. There is some of the dripping I mentioned. Shake some water out now so that it doesn't drip on you later. Take the lock nut off at the base of the fill valve. You might need a pair of pliers to get it started, then just thread it off by hand. Then pull out the fill valve. Once you get the old fill valve out, get a paper towel and mop up inside the tank where the fill valve goes. You want to clean up any water, grit, or dirt that might interfere with the seal on the new fill valve when you install it. The new fill valve comes with a gasket that goes on the end like this. Be sure that this collar at the end of the gasket is facing down on the fill valve. It goes into the hole at the bottom of the tank. And then just pull this on. This nut threads in from below the tank and holds the fill valve in place. The fill valve goes into the hole at the bottom of the tank. Be sure you move it around a little bit to make sure the collar on the gasket fits into that hole. The fill valve can come with height adjustments. This one is the right height for my tank, so I'll leave it the way it is. Thread the nut on the bottom of the fill valve. The nut has wings on it to make it easy to tighten by hand. You usually don't have to use pliers. Twist it on firmly to make sure the gasket has a good seal. The final step at the bottom of the tank is to thread on the water feed line. In my case, this connector also has wings on it to make it easy to tighten by hand. But that will depend on the type of feed line you have in your house. You might need to use pliers or a wrench. Now there's this fixture that brings the hose so that it shoots water down the refill tube. This tube is what's used to refill the bowl of the toilet. So you want to, after you flush, you want to have some extra water run down that tube. And this bracket holds it in place. So I'm going to get that pushed down like that. Now there's a hose that gets connected at this end onto the fill valve. And one that gets connected at this end so that it refills the bowl of the toilet. And put these clamps down over those junctions so that it holds the pipe in place. Turn on the water and keep a sharp eye for leaks. Check the top of the tank to be sure it's filling properly. The fill valve was not hard to install and it pretty much works right off the bat. I did have to adjust the height of the float, and depending on your toilet, you'll have to adjust the height of the float in yours almost certainly as well. Once that got done, everything was fine. The toilet seems to work well. It flushes properly, fills properly, and everything is working great. Hey everybody, I'm Bob Kovacs. Thanks for watching.